What up, peoples? Mr. Anomaly coming at you again another day with Mr. A. Happy A Day. Got a good one for y'all. I'm already calling it. I haven't even done it yet. Shout out to PG. We're doing another piggyback. I'm going to amplify this message. TLDR, more imprint talk. But I always play my favorite clip of my girl talking about the imprint and what she says at the beginning. Let me let her tell y'all real quick and we'll continue here.
Remembers. That's why I was saying the other show, don't let every man hit the bottom of your vagina, the root of your vagina.
This is my go-to clip. If y'all tired of hearing, I'm always gonna play this clip. This is just you can't really refute this, man. This is anybody out here fornicating. I love this clip, man, and we're gonna expand upon it. Told you, man. Free your mind, man. We on it over here. Here we go.
They don't know about the bottom.
Yeah, that bottom one. But see, every man may not know because he might not have a penis to really know how to hit that bottom or how to lift to hit that bottom and work that middle with a woman. She spread her leg.
That doesn't matter. Your penis size does not matter. Now, my RPG nerds, I talk about it all the time. I like to do it in an RPG. I'm an RPG nerd. I don't care. All strength, no intelligence. When you're dealing with a woman in the quote-unquote nice guy Gump programming, yeah, this stuff matters. I'm gonna let PG go in. He gonna break it down. I'm just gonna expand upon it, man. This is why I get up here talking about having sex. Why are you so confident? Because I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. I did too many examples. Dudes that got money, dudes that are quote-unquote pookies, and Ted Bundy still getting cheated on. It doesn't matter, bro. It's all internal. Internal cultivation strikes again. Here we go. Shout out to PG.
This man who was a good man, a good provider, you cheated on him.
He was a good provider, but he wasn't a good husband. If that makes sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense whatsoever. This is exactly what I'm talking about the society that we live in. Bent the knee to the Jezebel spirit. Listen to what she's about to say, man. This don't even make any sense. What my boy Stewie say right here?
Doesn't matter how you find the pot of gold, be to the Ryan. All that matters is that you beat the leprechauns.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, lady. And this is what happens whenever we cater to them in this fairy tale ideology. We doing it all on the fly completely. It bears repeating. The programming's real, y'all.
I think society has just made us feel like life is a fairy tale. I have been told that a lot, like in relationships and by people that I think life is a fairy tale.
Listen how this woman's talking to Kevin Samuels right here. The programming's, it's hard-coded, the milk's been spilled, the die's been cast.
He was a good provider, but he wasn't a good husband. If that makes sense.
No, it absolutely doesn't.
It does.
You sound like he was a better husband than you were a wife. The bottom line is you said he was a good man, a provider male, doing his part, and he divorced you because you cheated on him. Fine, I make no judgment either way, but you can't say that he wasn't a good husband and have any credibility with me or the audience, because it's like, well, what else are you going to say? In all honesty, why should you be able to take it off? When you had a husband and you had 2 children with him, and you said he was a good husband or he was a good provider, and you cheated on him, okay?
They gonna be going to therapy, giving therapists money. Why? Why is my woman cheating on me? Why? 2 kids in deep. Good provider. What do these 304s say after they've been in the streets getting all the sausages? That's all you need, is be a good provider, and you will get unconditional love and loyalty.
You're throwing it in my face.
Excuse me?
You're throwing it in my face.
Ma'am, it's just what it is. So y'all
But I feel like you're throwing it in my face.
Guys, what type of society do we live in? We live in a society that has bent the knee to the Jezebel spirit. This woman said, you're throwing it in my face. No accountability. I've done numerous videos on this. Women going to therapists. I did one, this woman, she was a therapist giving advice to women in relationships She was going through divorce. She did the same thing. We went to a therapist, but I didn't like that therapist because he was actually holding her accountable. You're throwing it in my face. So she went to a therapist that's pretty much a yes man, telling her what she wants to hear. Sound familiar? This is all spirit. We all fuck the same hoes. It's all connected, man. We're tying it in. Yeah, we tied it all in, bro. This is the society we live in. You're throwing it in my face. He was a good provider, but he wasn't a good husband. She wants Pookie to be. This dude married Pookie's concubine. Getting ahead of myself, and he submitted. He submitted to this energy.
Say yes, they mean yes. But when they say yes, they also mean no. When they say no, they sometimes mean no, but they sometimes also mean yes.
Yes.
Or it could be a maybe, but maybe
Okay.
is a yes.
Yes.
So maybe also means yes.
Yeah, and the guy should understand
Yeah.
what she means when she says yes.
Yes.
What is she thinking when
Right.
she says
Yeah.
yes to this, as opposed to, okay, she's saying no, but she means yes. here.
Like, is it a no or is it a no? Or is
You
it
know,
like,
like-
a no?
This is what happens whenever you submit to this, man. We're gonna break it down.
Are you being serious? I don't know you, lady. You're the one that cheated, not me. And see, this is what I mean. 43 years old,
43.
financial diva. All right, you better understand that the men you will deal with, they're going to know your background. And when you say you had a good husband, when you say you had a good provider husband, you cheated on him, that's red flags to most people. Then you turn around and say you had a baby out of wedlock, and then you married another man that you had abusive issues with. Why would a man with any sense want to deal with that?
You can't tell him nothing. In that woman's mind, she is not doing anything wrong. The programming is here. It's hard coded. Move accordingly. There's no point going back and forth unless you're just a romantic gump trying to. I don't know what dude's trying to do out here.
I mean, seriously, a man who has his shit together and is available on the market, why would he want a financial deal with that going on?
Most women bring nothing more than their appetites to the table. And for the average man, unfortunately, both the female and the male feels like her presence is the payoff.
He's not wrong. The female and the male feel that her presence is the payoff. I could tell you a couple, three things talking about having sex. The thirst is real out here. They think she's the prize, her and the dude. No matter what she does, have a whole phase, go out here and get throttled, get in the streets, abortion galore, single mother galore, doesn't matter. She's still the prize. What type of society do we live in? Dudes base their freaking self-worth, their manhood. The woman is the gatekeeper to masculinity, to the normal man, the average guy. You can't even, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it from y'all, the normies. I don't even want to hear it. Dudes still be thinking I'm lying, talking about having sex. That's just how hard-coded this stuff is, man.
Like her presence is the payoff. If I could get men to see their presence as the payoff. Because what comes with his presence is everything that God blessed men with and to be. But the price of admission for your presence is respect. And most bitches in the West can't afford that. They can't afford you. Now, respect is not a monetary value, so it shouldn't be that difficult, right? It ain't like I'm saying, look, it's $1,000 to get into this concert.
They were saying that that I'm gonna have to do a reaction to that Epstein stuff. They were talking about Elon Musk was a weirdo, weirding out the women. One of the richest man. Is he the richest man in the world? All that money and still creeping women out. Panties ain't just coming off just because you got wealth and status, man. That's why a lot of those guys had to do the casting couch and all that, getting positions of power so they can have advantageous situations over women. Most dudes cannot get women on their own merits, man. Again, that most dudes are just not doing that naturally, because it's a mentality on top of just physicality. It ain't just physicality either. It's you gotta have that spirit and that and physical and spirit. This is my humble opinion. Dude got all that money and still creeping them out. They didn't want to sleep with him. And the same thing with Kevin Samuels with that high value male. So I knew a lot of dudes out there thinking, oh, it's just that's all. Nope, there's more to it than that.
It's just respect. And most broads cannot afford a real man. Because
it's gonna cost me the woman. Yep. But that lets you know right there the mentality of the average dude. It's gonna cost me the woman. I can't be upfront. I can't be myself. I gotta wear facades. I have to play the game, running game.
as a real man who's self-centered is not going to stand for being decentered. Who's self-centered man, because afford a real man. Because a real man who's self-centered is not going to stand for being decentered. So in order for her to even sit at the table, sir, she's got to have respect for you.
You can't make them do anything. You can't. Again, it all starts with you. You got to respect yourself. You got to have rules, principles, and standards you're not going to waver from, even if it costs you the woman. You got to respect yourself. Told you we're going somewhere with this one.
And a lot of females, if they're thinking that they're the prize, right, then they're going to, they're just going to bring their appetite to the table. Appetite going to prize.
Right here.
If they're thinking that they're the prize, right, then they're going to, they're just going to bring their appetite to the table.
This is why I say penis size doesn't matter depending on your mind state. If you're coming at it like she's the prize, you need to please her. You gotta have that physical all strength. No, you're not gonna be able to satisfy her because you're coming at it from her position. You're elevating her and you're putting yourself down here. There ain't no way in hell I think like that, especially the path I'm walking up here not having sex either. I would have to download, like you said, decenter myself. Download Gump programming, Gump ideology to accept that. We don't do that here. And yes, it's going to cost you the woman. And again, it is what it is. What type of society we live in, the way I'm talking right now, misogynistic, toxic. Why is that? They don't want men having their own sovereignty. They don't want men doing what the Most High intended, Adam. They don't want men doing that. We live in a society that has bent the knee to the Jezebel spirit.
Right? Then they're going to, they're just going to bring their appetite to the table. That's all they're bringing to the table.
And you can't say shit.
Right? And you shouldn't serve a bitch. You should make her a microwave TV dinner. Without respect. And there's something else that women bring to the table. Their grave unhappiness and their endless complaints.
Why is that?
Their problems. It's not in a woman's nature to be a problem solver.
Why is that? Why is that?
I can't take it. And the number one reason your woman's always mad, fellas, the number one reason your woman is pissed the fuck off, cause you ain't her first choice. The reason your woman is pissed the fuck off, cause you ain't her first choice. The number one reason your woman's always mad, fellas, the number one reason your woman woman is pissed the fuck off, cause you ain't her first choice.
This is the core of the normie relationships. Decentered men, men who base their self-worth on the external, men who base their self-worth. A woman is the gatekeeper to masculinity. Think about that for a lot of dudes. A lot of dudes don't think they're a man unless the woman gives him the attaboy. Decentered men, that's the society we live in. Society that's bent the knee to the Jezebel spirits. And you see the price tag of the stuff you have to deal with. This is why I'm not concerned about hitting the bottom and having a penis size and all that. That doesn't matter. I should have did a reaction to that, man. There was an NFL player always complaining that his wife gets out the power tools. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Again, the society we live in. What type of society we live in?
Got the first point there about how we remedy this challenge, which is about self-expression, more self-expression. That's what I heard.
Not self-expression, introspection.
Introspection, getting to know ourselves.
Right? So it's very simple. So if you look at your idea of what it means to be a man, what percentage of that idea comes outside of you? And what percentage of that idea comes from within you?
About 90% comes from outside of me.
And that's why 90% of people, we're 90% fucked.
That's the society we live in. That's why I keep playing these clips deliberately. I be playing these clips intentional. So much so, you got cats like this. Dudes, decentered men, putting women on a pedestal, thinking ain't nothing about a woman, calling a woman the boss and all this stuff, man.
How do you not cry?
Well, instead of letting it out, try holding it in.
Decentered man getting involved with a woman and then acting like he's spitting some knowledge. This is normie shit right here. Oh, women, huh? Happy wife, happy life, huh? This is why I don't care, because I put myself first. And if that woman is into you, all that crap doesn't matter. I've had women confirm that, but my own spirit tells me this because I know it's true. If that woman's into you, all that penis shit does not matter. Foreplay. I've had women confirm that. How do you know? How do you know? You ain't had sex yet. How do you know?
Go fuck yourself.
The stuff isn't rocket science, man. They like it just as much as men. The problem is dudes are getting involved with women, and they both think that they the prize. The man thinks the woman's a prize, and she thinks she's a prize. He ain't nothing without her. I need my wife. I ain't nothing without a woman. I know it's an uphill battle. I get again. We ain't got to where we're gonna get to in the video, man. But this is why all that don't matter. What's the society say? Little dick energy, little dick syndrome. You don't get no bitches, all that crap. That's why, man. Ain't nobody going back and forth to normies. I just pointed out. It is what it is. Oh, hold up. Let me finish Hank real fast. My bad.
Every time you have a feeling, just stick it into a little pit inside your stomach and never let it out.
Are you supposed to have a pain under your rib?
Yes, that's natural. The body doesn't want to swallow its emotions. But now you go ahead and put that pain inside your stomach too.
I think it's working, Uncle Hank. I feel sick, but not sad.
There you go.
There you go. Like, that's normal. Passing it on. That same mentality. Pass it on to your goddamn kids. Decentered men. Bro, I tell you, man, we live in a society that's bent the knee to the Jezebel spirit. I'm going to keep tying it back in, man. I'm going to keep tying it back in. Let's continue.
And their grave unhappiness and their endless complaints. Their problems. It's not in a woman's nature to be a problem solver. So they bring you the problems and they watch and see how you scramble to solve them. But the ideas on how to do it, what to do, a lot of times they don't really have that. So she's bringing to the table her appetite, her unhappiness, and her problems and complaints. That's also what she's bringing to the table.
For the discentered man, for the man who, the woman is my everything, the sun, the rain, the moon, you're my first, my last, my everything. You're my gateway to masculinity. You're my gateway to happiness. You got to deal with all that. That's the price tag. This space wouldn't exist if most dudes weren't getting spanked like that. I'm nothing without the almighty goddess. I'm nothing without the woman. Projecting that shit onto me when I'm talking about not having sex. Y'all can tell you a couple, 3 things about that. Not as much, like I said again. Before COVID, dudes was talking big shit, man. Not so much now because there's a shift happening. The truth is being exposed. Y'all know what I'm saying is true. Y'all know what I'm saying is true. I know it's a tough pill to swallow for some people.
Through. Why you pouring me? I'm right.
This is why I talk the way I talk. We all fuck the same hoes, following styles and trends, popular opinion, molding yourselves to celebrities and music. And it's for a reason. It's just sex. It's for a reason.
And your love for her is going to be proven by how much you constantly got to get up from the table to go get her some extra salt or go get her some this or pour her another glass of wine. Or all she's going to do is sit there. Bring her appetite and her unhappiness and her complaints. Endless complaints.
Endless. This is why I played this clip at the beginning. Trying to satisfy that, what is it, little dick energy, all that don't matter. You trying to please that, you trying to ice skate uphill to please yes and no and basing your self-worth on that, it ain't gonna ever be enough. It ain't gonna never be enough. This woman's already bound to another man, she's already molded. That's why I keep playing these clips. And again, once it's over, they don't ever forget. They don't ever forget that dude took it, well, I ain't gonna say took advantage because she was a willing participant. They ain't gonna ever forget that dude imprinted her and then moved on to the next. They don't ever forget that. And then Mr. Gump comes over here, putting her on a pedestal, Mr. Decentered Man, Mr. Court Jester, 2 kids in deep, still cheated, making MGTOW videos on Red Pill now. Dudes don't want to acknowledge the imprint. It's just sex, it don't matter. This stuff does matter. Dudes are married to other men's wives on a spiritual scale. That's why all this stuff is never ending. You weren't her first choice. No matter what you do, your woman is mad at you.
Is mad. No matter what you do, your woman is mad at you. If you work all the time, why you work all the time? You ain't never home. You always leaving me. I hate this shit. If you home all the time, why you all up under me? Let me get some fucking room to breathe. Damn, stop sweating me. I hate this shit. If you make more money than her, well, fuck you. I want to make decisions too. You ain't my fucking daddy. I don't need you to take care of me. I hate this shit. If she makes more money than you broke motherfucker. You never have no fucking money. Fuck this shit. I don't want to make all these decisions. I need to be taken care of. I hate this shit. I can't take it. And the number one reason your woman's always mad, fellas, the number one reason your woman is pissed the fuck off, because you ain't her first choice.
Dudes got egos out here, man. You got to deal with all that. I see why the scriptures say better to be alone in the desert, better to be in a corner of an addict than dealing with this, man. Better to be in a goddamn desert because you're pouring your life, you're pouring your energy into an endless hole. And I don't care about the men because these women flock towards chaos like a moth to a flame and then want to act right after the fact. And again, only a decentered man will deal with this crap. Like this.
I don't care about a man's potential at all. I don't. I care about his productivity, because now you wake up with the man in his boxers on your couch in your refrigerator scratching his balls talking about when his dinner ready, and he don't even know how much your rent is. Right. There's no way. I don't play sleepovers. I don't play house. I don't do none of that. That's not my I don't play those type of games. There's no way a man is sleeping up comfortably or even coming over talking about something. I want to chill. My house is not an entertainment system, baby. That's not what we doing. You want to take me out, court me properly, date me properly, and I'm not a virgin. Let me tell you, it's harder to get my now than it was then.
What type of man you think she gonna get? What type of dude do you think is gonna pursue that? A decentered man, a man who has no self-worth. And again, she ain't gonna want that dude. A man, again, it'll never be enough. And that's why these women be getting upset. A lot of women will choose the desert because the man that she thinks she wants, because she thinks she's a prize, ain't going for that. And there ain't no going back and forth. There ain't no arguing. There ain't no talking. This is pointless. There's no words that need to be spoken.
Too much talking, 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 too much talking.
You don't got to say anything. Let's continue.
Meanwhile, practically everything else about this dinner, about this relationship, including the preparation of the table, right? The purchasing of the food, the cooking of the food, the serving of the food, and probably the dishes that get cleaned up afterwards, including the table. All of that rests on the man's shoulders. A man that is decentered, because that's what I just described. A man that's decentered, right, cannot be respected by a female. A female that I know said to me one.
That's why none of that matters, man. Who the hell are you, man? Internal cultivation strikes again. And we're about to get to right here. This is the main reason I want to do this video. The main reason right here. This proving what I be saying. Hello, my name is Mr. Gump. I know who you are, Mr. Gump. Let me let him break it down. We're going to expand
She said,
upon it.
Warren. I said, yeah. A female that I know said to me one time, she said, Warren. I said, yeah. I knew she was talking about herself because I knew what the word on the street was about her, right? She said, Warren. I said, yeah. She said, if a chick is married, I said, mm-hmm. And she said her husband pays all the bills. I already knew right then she was talking about herself. But then she proved it when she kept going. And then she said, but she cheats on him. Right? But he don't know. And she would never let him know. She said, is he a simp? I said, yes. She said, how?
I want to do this because I answered this before he even gave his explanation. I already gave the answer and I was correct as well. And this is why, at the very beginning of this video, why I played this clip, why all that doesn't matter. Because that type of woman where the penis size does matter, that's an energy. And again, we're gonna reflect it back on the man. What are you after? What do you want? But I'm getting ahead of myself. What capacity are you want? What do you want a woman for? Like I said, these are things you got to ask yourself for. Women out there in the streets getting throttled, they don't even appeal to me, bro. It never did. Even back in the 90s and stuff, as naive as I was ever gonna be, I still was able to sense that. Didn't want anything to do with it. So I ain't worried about that. I'm getting ahead of myself.
How, Warren? He don't know. And she would never let him know. She said, is he a simp? I said, yes. She said, how? How, Warren? He don't know. She talking about her, right? I knew that. Because I knew how quickly she throw her little ass around, you know what I mean? Especially the young dudes or whatever. But I already knew the about her, right? And I said, yeah, he's a simp. And she said, why, Warren? Why is he a simp if he don't know? I said, because I'm a life path 8. So I cut through the bullshit. And then I just said, because I would never trust you to begin with.
Boom. 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 Boom.
Mic drop.
Drop the mic.
So I'm gonna cut through this play thing. And I just told her, I said, yeah, because I would never trust you to begin with. I'd have read you already. I know you're a piece of shit. You ain't even pretty.
I would have read you at the beginning. I'm a master at this too. That's why I want to do this video. I can tell Ted Bundy's, Richard Ramirez's, and Pookie's wives immediately. This isn't no game, bro. This stuff is easy to spot. Dudes be lying to themselves. This is, again, flipping back on it. This is why I be getting on y'all's asses for hyping up sex so much. All y'all are doing is just making more decentered men who are going to be a bunch of simps than making MGTOW videos like they know something. I catch you at the very beginning. I see you at the very start. This is why I keep saying, like the guy that he played at the beginning, married, 2 kids, she cheated. Hello, my name is Mr. Gump. I know who you are, Mr. Gump. I know exactly who you are. I be playing these clips deliberately. I'm not just playing these clips just to be playing these clips, bro. This stuff is all spirit, man.
How would you make a guy wait before you give it up to him?
Depends on the guy. Depends on if I like him or if I'm physically attracted to him and the energy is there and I think it's mutual and I feel as though there's respect, it could be sooner than later. But if I feel as though this is somebody who is a long play, like you can kind of gauge that. Like initially you're like, okay, you're just short term, or no, you actually have qualities that I could see bringing us into the future. Then that person,
you can gauge that immediately. As soon as you come up to her saying, hello, I'm Mr. Gump. I know who you are, Mr. Gump. This is why I'm not worried about all that. Ain't nobody trying to ice skate uphill to try to please Pookie and Chaz. And again, that don't even matter because she's into you. That shit don't matter, bro. I'm preaching to somebody out here. This gonna help somebody, bro. Don't be listening to society, little dick energy, dudes who's basing their self-worth on a woman. None of this matters. Said it before, I'll say it again. I had a sub tell me. He said, Mr. A, he said, it's diabolical that when you're pursuing a woman, she can feign interest to make you think that she likes you. I said, no, sir. No, sir. You're coming from a position of, you're decentered. You're coming from a position of lack. That woman, if she is giving you affection, coming from, my RPG nerds, we're going to do it, she's coming from the skill tree of deception. And depending on her age, again, most of them 2-3 years old already know how to do it because they be manipulating their simp father. So they already gained experience points at a young age. 20 plus, 30 plus, she's already raid boss level. If she is giving you affirmations coming from deception, you can't fake that. If you in tune with the Most High and connected and centered and not decentered, you can tell right off the rip that woman's a fucking liar. The problem is we live in a society where dudes base their self-worth on getting laid. I can tell you a couple of 3 things. 46 ain't had sex yet, and y'all still think I be thinking like y'all. You're gonna fail. You're gonna desensitize yourself to these spiritual antennas that the Most High bestowed upon you. I ain't doing nothing that anybody else can't do. I'm just connecting to the universal infinite intelligence. He's saying the same thing I've been saying. The same thing again, bro. Roy Masters. This dude's talking about this in the 80s.
React to a woman's love. You come down into her to accept ego support, emotional, it's called love, falling in love. You're falling away from what love is all about. And you
PG used the analogy of the 3-foot pool. You big as Shaq, but you up here willingly drowning your ass in 3-foot water when you fall in love, accepting my Robin Hood Men in Tights nerds, Little John, just help me, I can't swim, help me. In that little ass kiddie pool water, drowning. This is why I be getting on dudes' asses, man, hyping it up so much, man. I'm centered, man, too much so, as a matter of fact. I keep giving y'all warnings. If you really doing it, you ain't gonna want nobody around. If you really doing it. Warning, I gotta put that warning up there.
leave behind your strength. And you become sure only because a woman loves you. And that's confusion. It's called love, falling in love. You're falling away from what love is all about. And you leave behind your strength. And you become sure only because a woman loves you. And that's confusion, because this emotional, passionate love is very violent. The kind of love that women offer men is always through hating men. Because when you get married, what are you getting married for? Men don't get married.
It's always through hating men. Why? Why is that? You're not her first choice. Most women are just surviving. We've already discovered what happens when everything's an even playing field. They don't like most men. If they're not starving, they got roofs over their head, they don't like most dudes. And I'm not coming from a position of an 80%er, by the way, for some normie come up here saying, again, I got to do this for the disclaimer for the normie, because you sound bitter, you sound hurt, misogynistic, incel, all that. Man,
go fuck yourself.
Why is that? Why are my words harsh? Why am I misogynist? Because we live in a society that has bent the knee to the Jezebel spirit. We all fuck the same hoes. I'm gonna have to go in on the Epstein. Y'all ain't gonna like where I'm gonna go with that Epstein either. I got some. I'm gonna say something spiritually on that. I kind of want to do it right now because it all ties into we all fuck the same hoes. But I digress. Y'all stay tuned for that. I'm gonna have to do another one on that one. This is why I talk the way I talk. Get up here, show my face. I don't care. I don't care. 6-inch dick, all that don't matter. Because I'm self-centered. And like I said, not selfish, but self-centered. That's why none of that stuff matters. I keep telling y'all, every time I play that clip, that doesn't matter. Your penis size. But we live in a society that says, you as a man, you ain't shit because this woman out here who downloaded the Jezebel, her choice, the Jezebel energy, reckless with her womb, stretched out, so no matter what you do, you can't satisfy her. And it's your fault as a man. You're the one that's lacking. And dudes be believing that shit. And then y'all want to, so much so, y'all want to come on my page with that crap. Then I call it out, I'm coping. Again, I'm just using myself as an example for the free thinkers out there. And again, these are your uncles, cousins, brothers, fathers, simps, leads, bosses. The trickle-down effect. That's the society we live in. This is why it doesn't matter. This is why I don't care. I spot you at the very beginning. I can tell Pookie and Chad's cum dumps. My girl, this is why I keep playing the clips.
Mission. Why they hitting her. And see, that woman is being seduced. She being seduced.
I'm playing these deliberately. I'm going to keep playing them. Y'all tired of hearing her break this down? Y'all might as well click off because this is my go-to clip. I'm not even going back. There ain't nothing to say. What is there to say? Have fun in your 20s. Create these soul ties. It's the way of the world. But she's still the prize, even though she's getting throttled in the streets, getting abortions and having babies and getting divorced. These women are so gone, they think they can go out here and have babies and get married and divorce some decentered gump and still think that there's something out there for her. It's pointless going back and forth because, again, the main character syndrome in romance. That's why they all download romance, because it gets the main character. She's a dragonborn in Skyrim. Everything revolves around her.
Down, man. He is screwing her into submission. He's screwing her into slavery by using the penis as a weapon to break her ass down. And her defenses, I mean, she wide open when the penis all up in.
The only woman it's applied to is a woman who's a virgin. I don't care what color they are. That's why they all sound the same too, by the way. They all say the same crap. Because they're all connected. We all fuck the same hoes. They're all dipping in the spiritual well of Babylon. I keep saying the same thing because it's... But again, that mark, I see it a mile away, and I can tell men that mold themselves to this, that try to please this. It has a spiritual mark. You can see it.
Have no defenses unless you just really are thinking, and this is not about the love experience, this is about a money experience, so she's a prostitute. Then she's feeling him and what he's doing, and he has already gotten her defenses down, but she's very weak, and that's the worst thing that can happen as a man to get your vagina is it who it belong to. What I said, who? And then the woman start calling out the man's name, screaming the man's name. Then she let him know she coming. When she coming, she hollering. She calling for him. Man, this stuff is programmed all up in this woman's vagina,
Boy, I love this clip, man. I'm sorry. Hey, man. Y'all, hey, y'all better get, I'm gonna keep playing it. Because there's nothing really, you have no, what are you going to say to this? Oh, no, she's lying. What? Only a man who's decentered, who's based his self-worth, going to be like, oh, you're lying. A man who has the teat, the Babylonian woman's teat in his mouth. Yeah, he'll be in denial about this because he's the same spirit she is.
all up in this mind right here, and that will actually bind her.
That's why no amount of lobster champagne, being a nice guy, being a provider. He's a good provider, but he wasn't a good husband. You see why they be talking like that? She's bound already. And they don't want to hear that Jezebel will not humble herself. It's pointless going back and forth with her. She's going to be haughty to the very end, till they yeet her ass out the window, horses trample her, and then dogs eat her corpse. That's her fate. That's how haughty she is, talking shit out the window. Knew she was condemned to die and still got dolled up and talking shit. And you dudes be going back and forth with him. Like, man, hey, man, please, man, ain't doing all that. I don't do all that talking, man.
Too much talking, 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 too much talking.
Too much talking, too much explaining themselves. Too many decentered men who know who the hell they are. But the woman is his all. The woman is the gatekeeper of masculinity. Woe to the man. Woe to the man that bases his self-worth on that. And again, I know he sounds bitter, he sounds hate, he's hurtful, he's misogynistic, he's gay. Then some of the, oh, I'm just coping, you're just coping, the dude.
Having the PhDs and master degrees to put on my wall in academia, but I have a master degree in being played by men, used by men, told everything I want to hear to get me in them positions. And I am, to be honest with you, I'm just going to be real about it. I'm very upset by being made a fool out of.
I can spot these women a mile away. So that's why I'm not worried about having a peanut to hit the bottom and all that shit, because I can spot women like that a mile away. Ain't nobody trying to do that. And women like that who are all strength, no intelligence, they get quiet around me anyway because they know ain't nobody trying to do that. And your words mean nothing to me. I don't base my masculinity on what you say or your. And like I said, the dudes that base their self-worth on them, I see you too. That's why I'm going back and forth, man. They're all connected spiritually. Decentered men and the women, and then y'all sit up here having kids and procreating, and that's why I keep playing the sins of the father, sons of 100 maniacs. It's all starting there. Decentered people having spiritually barren, popping out kids. This is the way I see it. This is my humble opinion. Well, that's why none of that stuff matters, by the way. I'm preaching to somebody. I just want to do that. When I heard him say that, I was like, yep, I'd spot you at the very beginning. We wouldn't even get to that point. It is what it is. Dudes got to ask themselves what they want, man. Dudes got to ask themselves what they want. That's pretty much the end of the video. That's pretty much it. I ain't got no much to add, but I am going to ponder a little bit. Can I ponder a little bit real fast? Can we ponder, y'all? Hey, it's been a while. Hey, okay. All right. Hey. Okay. Hey. What do you want, man? What do you want? Dudes got to be honest with themselves. What do you want from a woman? Do you want to get laid like Pookies and Chad in a meaningless manner? Or, like I said again, dudes, in my opinion, want to get laid like Pookies and Chad, or they want to be a romantic fairy tale marriage with kids. She's never gonna cheat. Dudes be lying to themselves, man. If you just want to get laid like Pookies and Chad, just be honest with yourself. But you're gonna be ice skating uphill if you're dealing with a woman who's not physically attracted to you. All that will matter. But, say before I'll say it again, internal cultivation wins again. Just be honest with yourself. They can tell if you're a dude who is the knock it out man or a man who's not. They can also tell if you're a guy who's an individual, a free thinking individual, not bound by Babylon. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a dude who's voicing my opinions, trying to get by. Hey man, it's liberating, bro. It should be liberating, but some dudes gonna base their self-worth on a woman and continue to ice skate uphill. It is what it is. But that's pretty much the video, man. I ain't got much to add, bro. Just, who are you? What do you want? And if your purpose is that woman, you lose. Good day, sir. But imprint strikes again. Internal cultivation strikes again. The milk has been spilled. The die has been cast. All you can do is move accordingly. Survey says one more for the good guys. I'm out, good peoples. Latest.